Hey, this is Chantal Gerardy from Online Business Marketing, and today I'm going to share with you how I use and how I teach to use ChatGPT for all your marketing, because there is a right and there is a wrong way. And guess what? Your audience can sniff it. If I get an email nowadays, and the email has got marketing efforts, digital landscape, or all the Z's in it, I know straight away somebody's gone into ChatGPT. And you can sniff when it is completely inauthentic. So whilst I absolutely love and adore the way that we now have ChatGPT as a tool in our businesses, I think that we cannot disrespect our audience and disrespect our business by not putting the HI into the AI. So the human intelligence into the AI. And I've been saying that for ages now. So in today's masterclass, I'm just going to share with you some of the capabilities that you can actually use ChatGPT for in your marketing. And when you do it correctly, it works. I can do what used to take me, like a strategy would take me maybe 4 months to do. I can now do in a 1-hour session, but only if I apply the right prompts into it, or else it will not spit out the right data. And if you don't have the human intelligence to know what's right or what's wrong, you, in essence, could be sharing content out there that is not in alignment with your business, your brand, or the outcomes that you want. So I've gone specifically today into how you can use it for various marketing functions, for social media, for email marketing, for strategy, for SEO, for blog writing, and for website sales pages, which is primarily a lot of what I do when I work with business owners and their marketing teams. So the key takeaway is that it always needs human intelligence, human intelligence, human intelligence. So if you've got no one that has human intelligence behind the AI, you're going to have some difficulties in getting good results with it. So I wanted to just handle something right now, because a lot of people are going, oh my gosh, AI is going to replace humans. And I think it's not going to replace humans at all. But what we do need is we're going to need intelligent humans that have strategies and they've got plans. And they're not lazy when it comes to their content marketing. So whilst things like ChatGPT are revolutionizing the way in which we do things, if we're all spitting out content through ChatGPT, you're still going to need to stand out from your competitors. And what that means is you're still going to have to stand in alignment with your brand, with your offer, your key messages. All of that is going to have to be included along with strategic thinking as you and your marketing managers utilize ChatGPT. It's a powerful assistant, but unless you've got your brand values, your goals, your key messages, and real world data in there, and the specifics of your business and the outcome that you're wanting to achieve. So again, overall strategy that you're going to need. The reality is that your stuff is just going to be cookie cutter and fluffy, and it's not going to stand out online. When someone comes to your website page or they go to someone else's website page, those of you who've used it well will stand out and they'll get the customer. And those of you who've been lazy and have not used it correctly and have just gone, you know what, I'll put in one prompt, get a result, stick it up there and say Bob's your uncle. The reality is it's not going to work. But those of you who sit and spend some time feeding it the input and strategizing and giving it the content, you're going to be able to connect with your audience, build relationships, and drive long-term results. And when you get better in managing your prompts, and when you start to improve your strategic thinking and your HI, your human intelligence, you're going to be able to make impactful marketing outcomes for your business. So what is the role of AI in your business? Well, AI's potential is that it can assist with repetitive tasks, content creation, and even strategic planning. So it can actually write you strategies. But again, you have to give it all the information, or else it's going to go down a rabbit hole and it may be the wrong hole. But to harness its full potential, that is where your marketing managers, the business owners, your strategy, your marketing plan, all has to come into place first. So AI will give you the output based on the input. So let me say that again. AI will give you the output based on the input that you provide. So your input has to be specific. You have to guide it through its understanding. So the first time may not be right. You might have to break it up into little pieces, dissect it, and give it more information and more context so you can get a better response. And then you're going to have to refine those responses, or even help to guide it go down a different pathway, because it might be going down the pathway that you don't like. So to ensure that AI aligns with your brand, your voice, and your objectives, you've got to make sure that you know what those are. What is your brand? What is your voice? What are your overall objectives? What is the overall strategy or the outcome that you're hoping to achieve? So you have to lead it with strategic thinking. You've got to lead it with context, and you've got to refine it, because it's never always right on the first time. You have to go back and you've got to go through it and not be lazy and say, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll stick this up for now. You've got to go, hold on, I'm going to train it, and I'm going to let it train it down the path that I want it to go to get the outcome I'm wanting to get. All right, so let's have a look at it with strategy. Sorry, new puppy in the house, so we're just checking on him every now and then. If you see things flying, let me know. So social media marketing. So this drives me nuts. Right now, there's so many people going, hey, you can buy like 150 social media prompts for your business. And I'm like, oh, you can buy 150 prompts for your business. And then I'm going, well, how can you? Because what you do, you might be selling puppies. You could be selling lubricants. You could be a kinesiologist. How are those social media prompts actually going to align with every single business that you have? So when it comes to this, I always say to everyone, you got to be careful. Like, there's no quick fixes. There's no magic pill. Everyone is going to, you might want to go buy those prompts, but whatever you do, please take into consideration what I'm about to share with you today. And remember, it will be in written context on the website as well as a blog. Okay, so let's have a look at it. It's absolutely imperative that you put into it your brand voice, your target audience, and the desired outcomes that you want. And you have to use consistent formulas, because as you train it, it will get better. And you've also got to add words like engaging and effective. So how many steps are there? 8. 8 steps, an 8 prompt formula for social media. Number 1, target audience. Who are you specifically wanting to reach? And describe their demographics, their interests, and their pain points. Number 2, what are their needs, their wants, and their aspirations? So what do they need or want from your business? What are their aspirations? What are they looking for? Then your niche. What is your business niche? Because I always say marketing is not about what you do that's the same as everyone else. Marketing is about what you do that's different. So add your niches. What is it that you're known for, so that you can give it context? Then what is your point of difference, your value proposition? So what makes your brand or your product stand out? Your unique selling points. And then what's in it for them if they choose you over everyone else? Then what type of language or tone would you like it to take on? And what is the overall goal that you're wanting your audience to take? So what is the outcome or the journey that you want them to take, so that ChatGPT can now refine that process? And the last one is the call to action. So what specific action do you want them to take? So an example of that would be, so the prompt example using this formula, and I'm not going to do it for all of them because we've got about 8 here today. But for social media, following the guideline that I just gave you, leave it. He's eating a stone in a pot plant. That's okay. Hey, come here. Hold on. Stop. Hey, hold on. This is going to be funny, hey? A shell. That's what he had. No. Let the games begin. So here it is. Get ready. All right, a prompt using that formula. Write 5 Instagram captions for and I'm just going to put the prompt bit in, okay, wellness brand that sells organic self-care products targeted at busy professionals in their 30s. These professionals want to feel more relaxed and balanced, but they struggle with time constraints. Highlight how our products are quick and effective, and emphasize the benefits of relaxing in just a few minutes a day. Use an inspiring and friendly tone, and encourage them to click the link in the bio to purchase. The goal is to drive conversions. So as I said to our live audience here today, I'm actually going to send the prompts through to them so they can see in the brackets, there's just an example of it. But if you go back and you follow the 8-step formula, you put in all that information into the prompt to get what it is that you want. All right, so practical advice, specificity. Be as specific as possible with each element. If you just say stressed and overwhelmed and you cannot get to like better words than that, you're going to end up having, oh, he's found this now thing. He's now, okay. If you, this is not, maybe this is good for YouTube. What do you think? You're going to get more subscribers? Subscribe for Taffy. Yeah, subscribe for him. So at the end of the day, specificity. So if you are general with the words that you use, but if you cannot niche down to the actual words that your customers use or looking for, then again, it's not going to, am I boring you? Then you're not going to get the result that you want. Number 2 is layered prompts. You want to make sure that you layer your prompts. So you break down all the requests. So you start to guard it in one thing, then guard it in the next, then guard it in the next, so that it can start to build in that thread. And the third one then is refinement. So making sure that when you look at it, you go and add your human intelligence to it so that you can say, tweak the language, make it more conversational, make it more engagement focused, make it align better with the brand or the audience, make it less salesy and more conversational. It loves all the context that you can give it. I'm going to put you outside, all right? So you can go play with your toys. All right, let's see how long that lasts. So number 2 is email marketing. So email marketing with ChatGPT, the perfect prompt formula. And we've got 7 here. So again, target audience. Who is this email for? Their demographics, pain points, and the stage in the customer journey. Very important for email marketing. The stage in the customer journey. Are they leads? Are they clients? Are you upselling? Are you downselling? But you've got to give them context in the buyer's journey when you're trying to get with them to write an email, because else it's not going to be specific enough. Then number 2, their needs and wants. What is the primary concern or goal that your product or service addresses? Number 3, again, is your niche. Clearly define the industry or area of your expertise. So for example, maybe your productivity coaching and time management. Number 4 is value proposition. What specific value will the recipient get from your product or service? When we talk about value, we're talking about maybe they'll get bonuses. Maybe they'll get their time back. Like, think about what those actual values are. You can even ask ChatGPT to fill that in for you if you want. Again, tone and language. So is it soft sell? Is it hard sell? Is it conversational? Is it engaging? Is it helpful? Is it friendly? Is it educational? Do you want it to focus on trust building? You can give it all the context. I wish I could do this to my kids and just say, give them context of how they should talk back to me. Number 6 is outcome and goals. So what action do you want the reader to take? And then the call to action. So what you want to direct them to a specific action that you want them to take. So what that call to action button is going to be. So I'm not going to go through the prompt for all of these, as I said, but they will be on the website and our live audience will get them. So again, practical advice, 3 things. Personalization. So personally talk to the person who's in that customer journey and meet them where they're at. Multiple variants. So you can actually ask ChatGPT to give you 3 versions, 4 versions, 10 versions, and have a look at the different versions and see which is more relevant. And then follow up. So you can actually then build a sequence on that. So from that email that you sent out, you can then ask it to build a nurture sequence to not just sell, but gradually guide the reader to go through the stages of trust, value, and action. And it will do that. It will create the email sequence. But start off in baby steps, get it to do the one thing, then go to the next thing so you completely train it to get the result that you want. Right, so number 3 is SEO and blog writing with ChatGPT. So the first thing I'd say is go to answerthepublic.com and have a look at what people on Bing and Google are looking for and YouTube are looking for and searching for around the world or in Australia. Because that way you'll get the actual keywords, because you've got to give it the keywords, else it doesn't know what it's going to focus on. You can just say include SEO, but unless you give it unless you give it a personalization like specific things, it doesn't quite get it right. So it's better for you to actually add those key messages in and say, here are the key messages, or here's the SEO words I'd like you to sprinkle in there. So you want to help it create something that is well researched and is SEO optimized. So you want to go and clearly define the topic, the keywords, and the structure so that it actually is searched for online and it's providing content for online. So again, we've got 7 things, target audience, who's going to be reading the blog, what are their interests, their problems, and what are they searching for online all the time? Like, what are they frequently asking for? Number 2 is the topic and focus. So what is the actual focus or angle of the blog that you're trying to support them in? Number 3 is SEO keywords. So looking at the primary and secondary keywords of what people are using online, what they're actually searching for. So to sprinkle those words in there. And then your length or your structure. So you want to specify sort of your word count. So is it going to be a shorter type blog, or is it going to be a longer type blog? So for example, you might write something like a 1,500 word blog post with an introduction, 3 main sections, and a conclusion. So you're training it, you're telling it what you want. And this is why that human intelligence is so important. Value proposition. So then you want to ask, what unique insights or solutions will your content provide? So you want to say, provide actionable tips on how to improve conversion rates. And then your tone or your style. So keeping in alignment with your business. For me, I always say that I want practical, educational. That's the type of content that I always want. And then outcomes and goals. So what do I want the reader to do at the end? And at the end of the blog, there's always 2 call to actions for me. The one is a direct one. If you want to work with me, this is how you do it. So if that's an email, a call, or a book a call. And the last one is I want them to subscribe. So they can subscribe for our weekly content or for future blogs, or I'll send them to one of our free resources, our lead magnets, and say, download this free lead magnet. It will support you with that. So there's always two when it comes to that. So practical tasks for when it comes to writing the SEO blog writing. Number 1, you've got to break the tasks down so that ChatGPT can expand on the blog writing so that the content is more focused. You can always ask for real world examples or case studies so that it has that storytelling ability inside of it. And then again, you can refine the SEO. So once it generates the whole content, you can go through, look at the optimization, look at the readability and the flow. You can ask it to suggest other headlines or subheadlines to ensure that it's SEO compatible. You need to check it's giving you the right words though. So you've got to know what those words are. So number 4, and this is a huge one, probably should have been at the forefront of all of this, but what is your overall marketing strategy? And again, I'm literally talking myself out of a job, or am I? Not really, because at the end, as I said, you've got to put the human intelligence into it. But ChatGPT can assist with brainstorming ideas and outlining marketing strategies, but the final strategy should always be rooted in human expertise. So use AI to create draft strategies, but ensure you add your insights, data, and personalization to make the plan actionable and relevant. All right, so we've got 7 here again. Number 1, when it comes to marketing strategy, include your business type and your industry. Number 2, put in your overall goal and objectives. So what is your primary objective? Is it to increase sales, generate leads, boost engagement? Got to be specific. It can't just be all over the place. Number 3 is target audiences and personas. So clearly describe the customer personas the strategy will target. So you need to know that to put it in there. Number 4 is value proposition. So clearly describe the customer's persona the strategy will target. What makes your business unique and how does it serve your customers' needs? Number 5 is channels and tactics. So specify which channels you use. If you don't use TikTok, then don't include it. But if you're using Facebook and LinkedIn, then say, I'm looking for content marketing strategies that are suitable for Facebook and then suitable for LinkedIn. Do it separately so that it can think about it and break it up for you. And say, my overall channels are here, but my tactics are I'm wanting to generate leads. How do I do that? Then number 6 is KPIs and metrics. So what success metrics are you wanting to achieve from your strategy? So you can put in things like, I want to create a 7-figure business in 5 years by doing this, break it down into monthly tasks, daily tasks. That is how clever it is. But you've still got to use your human intelligence to test it and check that it's actually relevant and correct. Then tone and style. So you want to include whether or not it's formal, informal, or industry specific. And all right, so let's go to practical advice. So when it comes to the marketing strategy, refinement is absolutely imperative because you've got to make sure that each section aligns with the business. Then you've got to break the strategy down into specific tactics in order to refine them further. So you can say, go to this part of the strategy and let's break that down now into actionable tasks. So we can take that and then break it down into more specific things so we can have a broader context of what we need to do. And the last one is execution. So ensure the strategy includes an actionable plan with clear timelines and responsibilities. So you can say, what do I need to do every day in order to be able to do this? But obviously you've got to say, hey, I've got to, I work these hours, I work these hours, I need this amount of time to manage my team. I work, so you're going to have to feed it all that data so it can create you an actual action plan to say, this is how you should be spending your days. So what are the actual things that I should be doing? So number 5 is website sales pages. And this is driving me nuts at the moment because website agencies are doing this. And I can smell it straight away that the landing page has been done. Now, do I use ChatGPT for our landing pages? Yes, I do. And I did one recently. And I will go through it and I will refine it and I will refine it and I will refine it until it completely feels like the business and that the audience is going to be able to digest it nicely. So sales copy on a website needs to be persuasive, engaging, and focused on conversions. So can you imagine if you didn't put those words in when you prompted it to write a sales page? If you just said write a sales page versus write a sales page that's persuasive, engaging, and focused on conversions. Completely different content you're going to get. ChatGPT assists in generating the content. You have to give it the guidelines. So again, we've got 7 guidelines. So number 1, target audience. Again, pain point, needs, desires, wants, aspirations. Number 2, the product or service description and the features and the benefits of what you're actually offering so that it knows how to communicate that on the sales page. Your unique selling proposition. So what is it that you do differently to everyone else from your competitors? Number 4 is your emotional appeal. Now, how many people would actually go in and go, look, on a website sales page, can you please make sure that it has emotional appeal to the audience? That can you show how the product or the service is going to improve their life and solve their problems? Once again, tone and language, really important. Number 6, outcome and goal. So what is the primary goal of the page? So make it clear, like you want to drive conversions by encouraging customers to purchase whatever or to make an inquiry. You have to tell it what to do. Or even if there's multiple outcomes, let it know. And then number 7, the call to action. So what would the next step be? What would those buttons be, those hyperlinks? So practical advice for websites and using ChatGPT, clarity. You have got to have absolute clarity in the prompts that you're using so that you give clear descriptions, features, and benefits, as well as include the emotional triggers, because without emotional triggers, you're not going to drive conversions. So you need to put those emotional triggers in there. Multiple call to action. So you want to ask ChatGPT to generate several call to actions to test and refine which works best. So for example, buy now, learn more, explore here. You can use a few different types of call to actions and then have a look at your Google Analytics to see which buttons are getting more hits. So when it comes to the overall guidelines for effective prompts, okay, number 1, be specific. Give it clear instructions. If you're not clear, it's not going to be clear. So give clear instruction on what you want, including your word count, your tone style, and your audience details. Number 2, layer your prompts. So ask it one thing, then ask it the next thing, then ask it the next thing, and start to build it. Number 3, then incorporate your brand voice. So let it know your brand voice or your style, or even give it an example, or use words like conversational, witty, eco-focused, formal, informal. And number 4 is make sure that you refine and you edit. As I said, I go in, we do it, but we refine and we edit, we refine and we edit. And people get so annoyed with the refine and editing part because they just want the quick fix of ChatGPT. So they don't ask as many questions as they need to. They don't give it as much input as they should. And they do not go back in and test and refine and strip it apart, break it up and strip it apart and really say to it, no, try again. I felt like this was too salesy. I'd like something that's more conversational. All right. So by putting the HI into the AI, you can ensure that ChatGPT will delivers the value that aligns with your brand's mission, your voice, and your goals. ChatGPT can assist with idea generation, content creation, and strategic planning, but it's the human input that makes marketing meaningful and drives real results. Can you hear the squeaky toy? No? Can you? No? It's howling with a squeaky toy. That's new. So remember, AI can handle the heavy lifting, but your insights, creativity, and knowledge of your audience is absolutely irreplaceable. So when used correctly, ChatGPT can enhance your marketing and free up your time to focus on high-level strategic decisions. So whether or not it's you, the business owner, or whether or not it's your marketing manager, if you don't have a strategy, if you don't have a marketing plan, if you don't know what your key messages are, if you don't know who your audience is, if you don't know what your product is, if you don't have clarity in your overall strategy and marketing plan, you're not going to be able to put it into ChatGPT, nor is your virtual assistant. And this is where you're going to become a little bit unstuck. And this is where you're going to start to have stuff. You may do it and put it up, but it's not going to get you the results that you want. And people go, well, I've done all of that. I used ChatGPT, I made a sales page and I created a lead magnet, but it's not working. And it's because of this. It's because this is the stuff that needs to be done in order to get it to work. So I'm going to say goodbye to our live audience. They can go and they can check out onlinebusinessmarketing.com.au and go to free resources and take advantage of our resources there. Make sure that you subscribe. And to our live audience now, we're going to go into more detailed stuff.